is Beck, and I was running out of video ideas, but my friend Marie was like, why don't you do this one? So here I am. I am going to choose 5 characters that I want to take on a quest with me. However, the only thing is they can't just be there for the sake of them being my favorites. They have to be there for a particular reason that is going to be helpful to me. So without further ado, let's get into my list. The first one was a very obvious answer, and he popped into my head straight away, and that is Night Eyes from the Robin Hobb Elderling series, from the Farseer trilogy specifically. Night Eyes is a side character that we are introduced to. I don't want to spoil who he is, but his instinct and his support and his pack mentality is the reason that I grew to love him so much. His loyalty and a character's loyalty in general are reasons that I tether my heart to different characters, and he is probably my favorite character of all time. So I know I just said that I'm not just picking my favorites, but for the fact that Night Eyes is very good in the wilderness, he's very loyal, he's very instinctive, and he's very pack oriented, I think he is a definite win. He's going to help me on my quest wherever we may go. Next up is another one from Robin Hobb. So I'm not going to choose any from Robin Hobb after this, I promise. This is a character from a very different series. He is from the Rainwild series, and that is all the way at the end of the Elderlings universe, so don't start with them if you don't want any spoilers for the progression of the world. But Carson is one of the characters that I would take with me. Carson, because he is on a boat quest in the Rainwild series, we don't even get a perspective from him, but he has some of the most beautiful, quiet, emotional moments, and I know that he is just very logical and very emotive and empathetic and very well informed. So he could be like the glue for the characters that I take with me. He tends to think with his head and his heart, and he gives very good advice, and that is why I want to take him with me. Another character that I'd like to bring with me is a bit of a pivot compared to Carson, and that is Fourroux from the Spellslinger books. She is a character that is introduced at the beginning. You see her as kind of like a loose cannon, but I think her and Carson would get along quite well because both of them have that tendency to mentor and get to that deeper emotional level without much effort. It seems to come naturally to both of them. Fourroux is a character that helps Kellen along and is very much like his found parental figure, but also his found friend and found family, and I love that about her. She's also quite chaotic, and in a pinch she can wiggle herself out of chaos, and I don't know how she keeps managing to do that. And she also tends to do that thing where she throws herself in danger to save somebody else, and if you're going to get me in any plot, that is how you're going to get me, and I just love her. I love her so much because she's intentionally abrasive, and she just tends to wiggle her way around situations that can be quite volatile, but she manages to talk her way through them. I guess she's another favorite of mine, so maybe I'm cheating, but honestly, she would be such a support to this quest team, but also a gun at getting through sticky situations, which I am bringing her along for. The next one is actually a character that I only read about recently, and I didn't even think of him until a friend mentioned him, and that is Amos from Leviathan Wakes. When I read Leviathan Wakes, Amos was very much this loose cannon kind of dude. He's definitely been in the army before, he's seen some terrible things go down, and he's just trying to make a living and keep himself alive, as well as keep alive the people that are in his close proximity on his ship that are like basically his found family. So I think from that perspective, he's seen a lot of things, he's pretty hardened to the world, he can do harder things that characters like Carson might not be comfortable with. So he has that hardness rather than that softness about him, and he'll cut to the chase very quickly. So if Carson or Fourroux are lamenting about the universe or about their emotions, Amos will just cut right through that and be like, no, we need to do this thing. And so I think as an addition to the team overall, he'll balance everyone quite well. And I think instinctively, Night Eyes would respect him a lot. And so he would welcome him into the pack as well. And now we're down to the last one. And it took me a while to think of this one because this character slipped under my radar, and this is Marco from Saga. Saga is an amazing graphic novel series, and Marco is one of my favorite characters. All of the characters in that series really stand out to me, but I picked Marco because in Saga, the premise is that 2 characters from warring planets end up meeting because they're soldiers on the front line, and then they fall in love and have a baby. And now this baby is like a political symbol, and so they're being hunted down by both sides. So they're very much on an escape through the universe in order to protect their child. And considering that Marco is on a quest for his life and trying to protect what he holds dear. I think he'll be very valuable on a quest that I went on because he has proved so far that in dire situations, despite the emotional turmoil, he can get through them. So I think I'm going to take him with me. He also has previously been a soldier, so I think he'd get along with Amos, and I think he would slot very well into that found family aspect and would also appreciate the emotion of Carson and Fourroux. So I think that's my crew. Night Eyes, Fourroux, Carson, Amos, and Marco. Those are my characters that I'm going to take with me. If you have any different answers, let me know. I've probably missed some, but I didn't want to pick like Mia, for example, from Nevernight. I know that she gets stuff done, but she's also not really a team player unless it really suits her. Mia is very abrasive and very, very pretentious, so as much as I do love her as a character and as much as she interests me, I didn't want to pick her for this, even though I thought of her first. I didn't choose her, but I think the others are very well balanced in order to go on my quest. Hopefully they see me through wherever I may be going. But that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll chat to you down in the comments and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.